Hi, everybody. This is Lisa Ascolese, inventress. I'm the CEO and founder of Inventing A to Z. And here today on my podcast, the Inventress Podcast. And super excited to have my guest on, somebody that you all need to meet, every single one of you. Her name is Natasha Taylor. She's the CEO and founder of Blackstar Physical Therapy and Wellness. Make sure that's a mouthful. And just spectacular, great energy, will show you how to get yourself in shape and stay there without hurting yourself. You know how we exercise sometimes and we don't do it right and we hurt ourselves during exercise? Well, Natasha is here to talk with you about that and much more. Hello, Natasha.
Hi, Lisa. How are you today? Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. So good to see you.
So good to see you also.
Thank you for being here.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm so thankful for the invite, but that wonderful introduction. Yes, my name is Natasha Taylor. I am the owner and founder of Blackstar Physical Therapy and Wellness. I am a physical therapist. I'm also a group fitness instructor. So what I've done is merge the two worlds to do exactly what Lisa just said. Help you exercise, but do it safely so we can kind of continue to grow and age gracefully and without pain.
And I have to say, I try to get to the gym at least 4 days a week. And I think I was telling you the other day, I hurt my knee. And I talked to you about how to exercise and things like that. It's simple things like that that could happen, right? During your regular exercise routine. So I would
Exactly.
love for you to if you don't mind, giving a little run through about how to be safe during your exercise routines.
Yeah. Well, the number one thing I tell people is you have to warm up. I understand we're all busy. We have busy lives. We have so many things happening in life. And so even with working out, like the biggest barrier I hear a lot of women tell me is, I don't have time for this. I don't even have time to fit it in. Like you said, you try to go 4 times a week, which I think is amazing. I
Mhm.
honestly tell people, if you can get 3 in a week, at least that's what's covered by evidence to be at least good for wellness. Now, obviously, we all have our different goals, what we would like. So we want to add more days. But the number one thing is we don't skip our warm up. Like we can't just jump right in and start running. You wouldn't run a marathon and not train, right? So we gotta warm up.
That
The
makes
other thing we need to do is on the back end, we gotta cool down. I do go to the gym every now and then. And I see people running out of the class ends and they take off, right? And I'm like, this is the most important part is the stretching aspect. Don't leave. So what I try to do is I create these programs, which is strength training to help protect the joint. So that's another tip.
Mhm.
As women, I my group is women. And so women will shy away from weights, the resistance aspect. It's easy to ride a bike, use the Peloton, use your treadmill, go to a fitness class, right?
Right.
But the weights is like, it looks intimidating.
Uh-huh.
But the weights and just building up strength doesn't have to be heavy weights, doesn't have to be anything crazy. That is what actually protects our joints. So if we want to really avoid injury, we need to build up our strength. But as we build up our strength, we take care of those joints by doing the warm up and the cool down stretch to kind of just balance it all out. Hopefully that was a simple tip.
No, you make a very good point because I do stretch. I do stretch first, but I run out of the gym. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I did it. I'm done. And I do run out. I do. So talk to me about that after stretch.
So the cool down stretch, honestly, is I would say more important than the warm up. The warm up is great because it gets us going. But once we start exercising, we're going to warm up naturally. That's just what
Mhm.
happens. But that cool down stretch, because we need our muscles to be warm when we stretch.
Right.
So if you notice in the morning, if you wake up stiff and you're like, I'm achy, I'm stiff, and you go to stretch and it doesn't really feel that supple. That's why. But then you think about it, okay, well, once I get going and I get going about my day, I make my coffee, I have to go up and down the stairs a few times. Then
Mhm.
all of a sudden you go to do a stretch and it doesn't feel so tight. That's
Right.
pretty much the same thing that's happening. Our bodies need to be warm to
Mhm.
effectively stretch. So again, we don't get hurt because if I stretch something cold, think of
Mhm.
a rubber band that's tough.
Right.
If it's tough and I keep pulling, it snaps. right?
Yes.
Versus
Mm-hmm.
if I kind of played with that rubber band and I went in and out, went in and out, and let it get some give, and then all of a sudden, oh, look, it's stretching. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we want to do. So that's why I say don't run away, because the stretch is more effective on the back end versus the front end.
So why though? Since I'm already warmed up. So I
Mhm.
came in, I already warmed up. I did all of my exercise routines, a little bit of weights, a little bit of floor. So I'm finished. What kind of other stretching am I doing if I'm already warmed up?
So you would be, so I guess it would be depend on what you were exercising. So for
Oh,
example, if you went in and you're like, I want a Michelle Obama arm, so I'm going to do my shoulders and my arm exercises.
yes, I
Then I
do.
would, yeah,
Uh,
exactly. We all want Michelle Obama arms. So you would want to stretch the triceps, which is in the back of the arm. So that's
right.
something like bringing the arm across your body like this, gently pulling. You
Mm-hmm.
would want to do, yep, you would take it across and
Uh-huh.
gently pull the elbow.
Uh-huh.
The opposite would be over your head and pulling
Okay.
it down.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Think about if you grip. So we're tight, tight, tight gripping, typing. You want to stretch out the wrist. So you open up and open the finger. So we're doing the opposite. If it's about going the opposite direction of what you were doing. The
Oh,
chest, the
okay.
chest,
Uh-huh.
right? So let's say you're doing flies or you're doing presses, right? You're
Uh-huh.
pushing, you're squeezing. The opposite is this. So now we're opening up the shoulders. So the stretch for the chest would be the opposite. Let's open up those shoulders. Let's open up that chest. And again, we notice where do we carry a lot of stress? Shoulders, neck. So
Mm-hmm.
even whether you're working your arms or you just need a stretch, you open up. So that would be the takeaway. Do the
Got
opposite
it.
direction. If it's
Of
your
what you've
legs,
done.
of
So
what you've done.
you're doing the opposite of what you've already done. That's very informative because I don't. So if I'm lifting like
Hmm.
this or whatever, or like this,
You would do the
so
opposite.
so I'm going like this. So I'm like stretching out what I did.
Yes.
I don't do that. Isn't that
Yeah.
so?
So like a curl, you're doing this.
Yes,
So the
right.
stretch for the curl would be opening.
Isn't that something? Never did it. Nope, never, ever, ever. See, this is why we need you, Natasha. We need you, especially
That's
now. Especially
yeah,
now, we need you all the time, but especially now because everybody is getting ready for the holidays, right? We
exactly.
always we all want to lose 90 pounds before Thanksgiving, right? 90 pounds in 3 weeks. So we're gonna run
Right.
to the gym, not
Oh,
stretch, and all of these
not
things,
drink water
not drink water because we're in a hurry.
because
Let's
they're
just
in a
get the
hurry.
workout. Let's get the wrong workout in and not stretch after the workout. But this is wonderful advice because again, we don't want to be limping around when we're
No.
going shopping, right? We're
Right.
shopping. This is a great time to be in shape but don't rush
Yeah.
to get there, right? Do it the right way.
And that's a very, I love that you said it like that. That's a huge point because that's
Mhm.
what it is. We want to rush. We want everything now. You
Yes.
want to lose your 90 pounds in 3 weeks. That's not realistic. So no, another tip for injury prevention is no, set a realistic goal,
Hmm.
but give yourself time to attain that goal, right? If it
Yes.
took, if you're trying to lose weight, whatever that amount is, didn't happen in 3 weeks either. So expecting it to go away in 3 weeks
Yes.
is setting yourself up for failure, and it's going to impede your self confidence and your want to even get up and go do it because it's not working. So why should I go? You know, for
Yes.
so yeah, like if it's not, and I find that to be another barrier with the women I work with is, well, I did it and it didn't work. Or like you said, I just went and I worked out every day and I cut out all sugars and I didn't eat anything bad.
Hmm.
And I fell over and burnt myself out because they didn't rest.
Right.
They didn't adequately nourish their body for this
Hmm.
amount of extra activity they're doing. Nothing changed. They still have to go to work. If you're a mom, you still have to take care of your children. You
That's
still
right.
have all the other responsibilities of life. And then you added on the stress of having to work out. So changing your mindset towards what this is for.
And
Is it
this
because you absolutely have to lose 90 pounds, or is it because you want to feel better?
But you know what? This is where you come in, and this is where your classes are so helpful, and your guidance and your counsel, because we don't all know how to do it. We don't all have
Mhm.
trainers. We don't all have physical therapists. And so to be able to hear from someone like you, who is an expert, is what we all need. So now you provide classes, right, and workshops. Why don't you share that with us, and how anybody can sign up for your classes and your different workshops?
Yeah, so I do workshops. I've been doing them quarterly, and I offer like free injury prevention, strength training workshops to explain. I like to educate. So I'm a physical therapist first. And
Hmm.
so part of physical therapy, the one thing I find is those patients who I educate the best, who know what to do when they are not with me, are the ones who succeed. So I educate you on these tips, injury prevention tips, how to eat for nourishment to help sustain your body so you don't get injured.
Right.
Um, we do, and so that's a quarterly thing. I do group coaching. So I have an online fitness program where you work out on your time. The
Hmm.
program is set by me. I would do a one-on-one virtual assessment, see how you move, because again, I want you to be pain free. I don't want you to go and work out on your own. I often have people come and ask me like, well, what YouTube videos should I do, or what app should I use? And again, nothing wrong with any of those things. But
Hmm.
if you're just following the person on the video and you really don't understand how your own personal body moves, you can
Right.
set yourself up. So I do a one-on-one virtual assessment. I look at you, I watch you move. I can give you tips that are supporting you on how, let's say, you squat versus
Hmm.
how I squat. I give you
Right.
those modifications if you need them. And then you get an exercise program that you do at home. You follow the plan. It won't be anything strenuous where it's unrealistic. It's realistic. It's anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week.
Hmm.
Then every other week we meet for group coaching. We talk about how did those weeks go? Do we need to go over body mechanics again? Maybe you had an exercise. You're like, you know what? It didn't feel as good, or I didn't look like you in the video.
Right.
How do I do this? I keep you accountable and also watch you and guide you so that again, you're able to progress without getting injured. And the program, if you see my sign, it's called Rebuild and Restore. Rebuild and Restore is covered over 16 weeks. And I do that on purpose. Going back to this, it takes time.
Yes.
Nothing changes overnight. So
Hmm.
that first month is going to be understanding movement, beginner movements, making sure you can master that. You got that? Okay, let's progress. And we go up almost like a stair step until you get to that 4 months and you're a master, you're a pro.
Yeah, and you know what? Then there's consistency, and then you want to do it. You want to do this
Right.
workout because you're confident that you're doing it correctly as well. You know
Exactly.
what I
And
mean?
you're
There's
seeing
nothing
that
like,
you're not getting hurt.
and you're not getting hurt. I
Hmm.
mean, so I love that. I love that. And they have your guidance and direction.
Hmm.
When you were at our conference, you gave so many simple tips on how to move and how to sit, even. You did that sitting thing and the
Yeah.
squatting, like how to actually bend, how to bend without hurting your knees and all of those things. Those little tips are priceless. They really are, because you bend down the wrong way, you hurt your knee, you're out of service for 6 months sometimes, and then sitting on a couch and gaining the 90 pounds on top of the 90 that you that you want to lose. So no, I love that you have a program that is stretched out, and that you take the time and you take a look at the body and how they're working out. It's fantastic. Now, please give your website again before we get to the end of this, and we're going to repeat it a couple of times because people are popping on and popping off. So please provide your website and all of your social media platforms.
Sure. So once again, my name is Natasha Taylor. My website is www.blackstartherapy.com. Social media, I'm on Instagram and Facebook as the same at Blackstar_PT Wellness. You can find me on YouTube, same name, Blackstar Physical Therapy and Wellness. On YouTube, I have a lot more longer form videos. So as you know, Instagram is short and fast. People want it quick. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're that person who's like, no, I actually want to spend time, that's where you're going to see longer, like a whole, like almost a class. Like I can take you through a whole stretching routine based on a body part. I've recently been doing these 30-minute fitted in workouts. So if you go to my YouTube page, you would see, oh, today's arms, today's legs, and you can get a workout in on those platforms.
That's so good. That's so good to know. And you know, I think that this is such a wonderful gift also to provide to someone. You know, we talked a little bit about this before. Giving the gift of health and wellness, right? And fitness, I think, is a wonderful gift to give, and being able to have your services. So, are you
Mhm.
providing any kind of a gift card or anything that you could pass out, somebody could purchase and pay for, give to a friend?
Sure, I have quite a few options that are coming up. I have merchandise that's launching November 1st, so you can get a set of resistance bands. The resistance bands go along with my program. So once again, if you're an at-home exercise person, you can buy these bands. I have a wellness guide. All of these tips, you'll have it at hand. So you can purchase a wellness guide. But the main thing is my rebuild and restore program. You can purchase either the virtual assessment, the one-on-one assessment. There'll be a gift card for just that. So that's a one-time assessment. Or you could purchase the person like 1 month's worth of the program itself.
Wonderful. What an incredible gift.
Yes.
Really
So
is.
like I think even just the virtual assessment I find to be a great gift because that's part of the package.
Hmm.
So to be able to get that one-on-one look, that's one I find people do like, especially those who might already have a trainer. Sorry, I'm not trying to step on toes. They
No,
might already be working out with somebody. They
mhm,
might already have a program, but something isn't right. And they know something's not right. But whoever they're working with, or maybe it's on their own, they don't have anyone to go to. So I've definitely offered the one-on-one virtual assessment because I can watch you move. I
yes,
can tell you exactly this is why it hurts when you squat. It hurts when you lunge. It hurts when you push weight overhead.
right.
All the things you want to do. Or the other day I talked about push-ups. How many women shy away from push-ups? Oh, I can't do that. I don't have it. You actually do. It's
Hmm.
more than likely a body mechanic issue than a strength issue, but you wouldn't know that. So
Right. How would you
definitely,
know?
how would you
Unless they're
know?
unless they're, you know, consulting with someone like you.
Right. So yes,
Yeah,
so
really.
definitely offers. I've got, like I said, the resistance bands to complement the programming, wellness guides. So you have the tips right at your fingertips, and then definitely the virtual one-on-one. And if you want, you can go ahead and invest in the rebuild restore. If the person is that means that much to you, and and you want them to have lifelong health.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you provide tips on how to eat, you know,
Yeah.
how to eat, what
Hmm.
to eat protein wise. And that's a question I have for you. So whenever I leave the gym, I come home and I think I need something, I need protein because usually you go in the morning.
Hmm.
So I'll have oatmeal before I go, much earlier. And then when I get home, I'm going, what can I don't really want a protein shake. What can you eat protein wise? Because it's important to have your protein, right? After you lift and things like that.
It is. It's actually important to have all three. Honestly, we've given protein the mantle. And
Okay.
we've told carbs that they're bad, but carbs are not bad. It's the
Okay.
type of carbs. Honestly, if you've worked out and you've worked hard,
Hmm.
the ratio is 3-to-1 carbs to protein. So you should be
Really?
eating, let's say you had a sandwich. It'd be
Hmm.
a sandwich with good quality bread. I'm not saying go get white Wonder bread,
Right.
maybe a whole grain and no bagel. We're not
Dave's.
doing bagel
Dave's.
sandwich.
Love
Huh?
Dave's. Dave's. I gotta give
Exactly.
Dave's a shout out.
Right. So a quality bread, a whole grain bread,
Uh-huh.
if you're somebody who deals with maybe digestive issues, gluten, sprouted breads have less
Ah.
of the wheat, but do a bread with your protein. So the protein could be a chicken or egg or fish. Tuna sandwich, I would say, maybe not a fish sandwich, but like, a chicken sandwich,
How about
turkey
some cheese?
sandwich.
Chicken sandwich with some cheese and some
So
mayonnaise.
yeah. So the cheese.
Is cheese okay? Not really.
So not really.
Who needs the
And the
cheese?
only reason why I say cheese is not okay is because cheese is a dairy in general is a trigger for inflammation.
Isn't
So
that
if your
okay?
goal is to manage pain and decrease inflammation, bloat, like if you notice maybe you don't have an injury, but you're like, I just don't feel good. I
Hmm.
feel heavy, or you have nagging low grade pain,
Hmm.
dairy is actually a trigger. So I personally don't encourage adding cheese, but you
Uh-huh.
could do avocado. You could add a piece of avocado. You
Nice.
could do a vegan mayonnaise to
Mhm.
take away from the dairy. So there are ways around to get that same flavor. I'm not asking to eat a dry sandwich, but yes. So if you were to do
But
cheese,
not
I would
have.
keep, yeah, I would keep the cheese minimal and keep
Uh-huh.
it low. Yeah.
Okay.
Now
I
a
like
feta
that.
is not as high in lactose, so a feta cheese if you had like a salad. So that's
What
another
kind
thing
is?
I like feta,
Uh-huh.
a feta goat cheese. So you're not
Mhm.
going to deal with as much of the lactose that's going to be an irritant. So that's the thing with cheese is that it is it's a trigger and it's an irritant to cause inflammation.
That's great information too. That's great advice. I mean, because I do sometimes I'll do oat milk in my coffee and things like that. But let me ask you this real quick. So I put half and half in my coffee, and I find myself literally having like two cups of coffee sometimes, and I put the cream in it because it's delish. How
Right.
is that half and half or that heavy cream? It's not heavy cream, it's half and half.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still dairy. So
Okay.
so I would say if you wanted, like I do almond or oat creamer, and I feel like it's
Creamer.
still cream. Yeah, they
Okay.
sell like an almond creamer
Hmm.
or they sell oat milk creamer now. Even when you go shopping, honestly, like you can go to Starbucks, Tim Hortons, they have it as an additive, so you could swap it out. So I would just encourage a swap.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
swap.
it still has sugar in it. Like I haven't said anything about sugar, so it still tastes good.
So I mean, is it very, very sweet? Is it sweet like I don't have to put
Yeah,
sugar in my coffee?
it you probably no. I don't think you have to put sugar in your coffee if
Okay.
you added it. Yep, it's still sweet, and it's
Okay.
got if you're okay with nuts, it's got like the oat. You eat oatmeal, so it's got like that
Yeah.
oaty taste or that nut taste.
Hmm.
Find it good. I think it's great. I think it's a great swap.
All
Is to
right.
go like a plant-based creamer.
I'm swapping.
Yeah, swap.
I'm doing the swap because I didn't know they had the creamer. I
Yep.
didn't. Yeah, I know about the milk, but I didn't know they had a creamer. The creamer, gotta have the creamer.
Yes, I'm not advocating black coffee.
Oh, good, thank you. And
No
one more
problem.
question. I want to ask about the water, the hydration.
Yeah.
Because recently I heard you should be having half your body weight. Is that accurate
Mhm.
for the day?
Yep, half your body weight in ounces
Hmm.
is a standard. It can
Okay.
seem like a lot of water, but if we think about it, we are mainly water. We're 80% water. So we really need to nourish our muscles. I mean, it's great for every organ in our body. Definitely the largest organ, which is our skin, it helps detoxify. So when we drink water and we detox, we're getting rid of all those things inside. Again, with the pain, I speak about the pain management and that low grade inflammation is really what gives us those aches and pains. If you have arthritis, even like I'm not talking inflammation where your foot is swollen.
Right.
It's the arthritis. It's the my belly, my gut just doesn't feel right. Like something
Mm.
isn't right. I have achiness. I'm stiff, that stuff. So definitely, if you can drink half your body weight in ounces, in pounds, for those of you who are non-metric, yeah, that'd be a great way to start. If not, drink as best you can.
Right.
Yes, the
So,
most as you can.
and water is, I mean, coffee, the water in coffee, is that deleted? So if you're drinking a cup of
Oh,
coffee, does that
so
count?
a coffee is a diuretic. So a
Okay.
coffee would actually be making you dehydrated.
So it's counterproductive.
It's
Okay.
counterproductive. So they
Okay.
say per cup of coffee, you should replenish that with a cup of water. So the coffee isn't in addition to. Now tea is different. If
Uh-huh.
you're doing like a non-caffeine tea, or because tea is water based, and then you've got like your non-caffeine, you can count for that as hydration. But
Mhm.
coffee is a diuretic and it makes you dehydrated. So you would have to replace the cup of coffee with a cup of water.
Wow. This
Yeah.
is such great advice. All these little tips. And I'm going to follow what you're saying. I mean, and I do sometimes it's like a little weird. Like I feel a little, a little bloated after I have the coffee, and then I wait a little while and I have another cup of coffee.
We have one more to go with.
No, but I'm more of a tea drinker. But that's
Yeah,
great advice for everybody out there because I know there's going to be a lot of questions. So they reach out to you again. Please tell them your email again if they have questions for you.
for sure. My email's info blackstartherapy.com. Website where you can apply to work with me is www.blackstartherapy.com. And again, I'm big on social media, Instagram specifically. You can check out videos, you can message me there. So my Instagram handle is at Blackstar_PT Wellness. You can find me on YouTube. I may not reply on YouTube, but you can definitely watch my videos and get a quick workout in.
And I thank you so much. I mean, so many of my clients and our Motivational Monday folks and even from the conference rave about you. Cynthia Green is one of the people, many clients who go to you and you're
Yes.
life-changing. What you're doing is life-changing, and such simple tips, and you're easy to listen to, and you listen. So it makes it great. I love your communication skills. I love the way you're just easy on everybody.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
No, I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. So, Natasha, thank you so much for being on the Adventures podcast. And I can't wait to have you back, and certainly see you on Motivational Monday, right?
For sure. Oh, I'll be there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. Take care. God bless. Have an amazing evening. Bye.
I will. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.